You know what they don't have, though, is they don't have video games of you on the moon. Another thing that...
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah. What's that one called? It's like, my kids call it a moon game.
No, I'm talking about that.
Sky something. Open Man Sky.
I'm talking about the basic thing like this lawnmower game. All you do is you're just driving around the moon. You're not doing anything because you know what they tell us. There's even a larger hole in the wheel of NASA's Mars Curiosity rover. What does this rover do all day? It does exactly the lawnmower thing. It just drives around Mars all day, every day. And what do they want us to know? Now, I don't even know why we need to know this. I don't know why the public even has to care.
Because they got a flat tire.
But no, they just want you to know it's not. So this title is implying there was already a hole.
Oh, yeah.
But now they want you to know there's even a larger hole.
Oh, no.
In the wheel. And I'm wondering, why are you telling any of us this as though we need to be concerned?
I think I can answer that.
So what I saw.
I think I can answer it. I think it's pointing to the ingenuity of what we can create, because the rovers were not supposed to last anywhere near as long as they have. And I think the fact that they've lasted so long and the things are still working, it's like the Energizer Bunny. These things, you got massive holes in the tires, but they're still running, they're still moving. And I think that kind of shows a certain, we can do it. We can build things that will last in a hostile extraterrestrial environment.
So they're justifying the taxpayer's dollar.
Are you wanting to read this article? So all these things I'm going to show today, are you interested in reading the full article?
Yes, this seems really interesting.
To know why there's even a larger hole.
Yes, well, I've been dying to know.
Why, yeah.
I'm not
inquiring minds want to know.
But what I thought about was, why is there a hole? See, what you talked about, Elder, that's common thought. Oh, there's ingenuity, there's decay, it's entropy, things happen, blah, blah, blah. But that's what they want you to believe, so you don't really know why this hole shows up. Because eventually they're going to show you pictures and people are going to ask, hey, there's a hole in the tire. So they just need to tell you the normal thing, which is, it's entropy, decay, it just happens. They don't want you to know. It's because it encountered extraterrestrial entities who has proclivities to eat this material.
Oh, like space termites.
And some of those extraterrestrial things are here on Earth. That's how they knew how to test for these.
This is the closest thing our planet has to an alien, and it's nuts. It's called Xenoturbella, a sea creature that is unlike anything else on Earth. Here's what I mean. First of all, it looks like a worm, but it's not a worm. In fact, according to science, it shouldn't even be alive. Why? Well, because it has no respiratory system for breathing, no circulatory system for blood flow, and no excretory system for removing waste. But it gets even crazier than that. Xenoturbella has no organs. None. It has one thing that's kind of like a sensory receptor, but that's it. It has no reproductive organs. So how does it reproduce? Well, reproductive cells just kind of come out of its body. Then they fertilize each other in the water and become babies with no mouths who apparently don't eat. So what does Xenoturbella have? A hole. One hole in its stomach, if you can call it that, where food goes in and waste comes out. They were discovered off the coast of Sweden, but I think they're from outer space.
What's interesting about this Xenoturbella, whatever it is, it's in the ocean. And we all know, we have more maps of the moon, assuming the moon, than we do of the ocean. Trench. And they know that's where it's at. So what do? They want to test what works well on Mars. They get these kind of aliens that they already know are real aliens, and they can test it. And so then when they go to Mars, they know they're already there. But they can't tell you all of this. But they need to tell you because everybody will see these holes. So, of course, like Elder said, it's because of entropy. It's just decay. It's natural. But they just have to expose that They ran over one of these extraterrestrial entities, and now there's a hole in the device, and it's happening.
So they ran over some ear-looking thing, and it
only has
blew a hole through its wheel.
Because it's
only one hole. Yeah,
has one.
It has one hole, and it transferred into the hole.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
So holes are replicating now.
And what I'm starting to think is that we're being lied about Mars, and Mars is actually just a bunch of water. It's just a big ocean. Because they always allude to that. Oh, look at this trench here. It looks like there might have been ancient rivers it's actually all just a big ocean.
Huh, I've never been there, so it could be true.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there who believe the Texas testing ground for astronauts is actually the moon. Because, well, at least they train for the moon there at minimum.
Because the anti-gravity picture.
Yeah, there's a massive swimming pool in Texas that NASA trains at. They train their astronauts under the water. And it would be interesting if that's what it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And some reason they do that often. And they even acknowledge that too, what you're saying. That these training places are basically large, huge, like 30, 40, 50 foot deep swimming pools so they can train on weightlessness. But is that the truth? Because we've heard also the rumors that when they're out there doing spacewalks, what happens? Somehow water gets in their helmet or something. What? And really, it's because when you go to Mars, it's all water. So, yeah, we might have already been to Mars. And they're showing you all, think about this on a deeper level. They tell you that the ISS and all of this is in low Earth orbit or just outside Earth. What if the green screen, and it's all green screen, like let's just admit that the live footage is green screen, but they're not actually out in low Earth orbit. They're actually on Mars right now. And all the green screen is so that you don't know we're actually on Mars. You just believe we're in low Earth orbit, but they're actually on Mars, and Mars is just a big ocean. And that's why water gets into the helmets and all of that. So they have this double layer psyop. They want you to believe something simple that we could do, like, oh, it's just outside of the Earth atmosphere. That seems tenable. But they don't want you to know we've already been to Mars. Actually, we're there now. And that's why there's all this emphasis about going to Mars. And then there's people like deGrasse Tyson who says, oh, we can't go to Mars because we can't create an atmosphere. And they just want you to keep on believing this narrative because it's too early to reveal we've already been to Mars.
Well, you're making some really big jumps and leaps, and we need some anti-gravity to understand this.
Well, here's a training facility I'm about to show you, and this is some of the preparatory things. So if you didn't have water, you would have to do stuff like this. I mean, this guy should be an astronaut.
Where?
See, that's anti-gravity.
Wow. Oh, that looks like gravity to me.
You know, there's actually a big controversy with that video. It's so good. People want to believe that's AI. But it's so good that we don't know if it's AI or not. But that shows me even more. How much more could they do to persuade you that we're not on Mars? They can perfect anything. And it's simple to believe we're just outside the Earth orbit. It's hard to believe we're on Mars. So they would never even try to green screen that. But they could green screen we're outside of the Earth, but really, they're over there swimming in this cesspool on Mars. That's why it looks like they're out there on the Earth, outside floating on these spacewalks, but that's actually them moving through Mars.
Would that be a cesspool or a cesspool?
Whatever you want it to be. It could be a Xenoturbella pool.
Oh.
You're just inside one of the holes. So now imagine if Mars was actually just a big Xenoturbella and you have to get in the hole.
Yeah, I was thinking, what if this whole universe is inside one of those things?
And you know what they call the black hole? It's just a big singularity.
Mm-hmm. So that's actually
just like
leaving
that creature.
the hole.
Right. And there's only one hole. It goes in and out. There's not a second hole.
Yeah. Only one hole.
Hawking radiation.
I think that's the nature of the entire universe. Everything could be explained by one hole.
Now think about what they call it too. They call the getting sucked in the black hole, and you're getting Hawking radiation, which comes out. They call it the white hole, but it's all the hole.
By the way, before I forget, movie recommendation. You were talking about alien bacteria that eats things. There's an excellent movie from the 60s. It was actually a book called The Andromeda Strain. Outstanding movie. For its day, it had really cool special effects, and the story itself is kind of neat. It's interesting that it was done in the 60s, because when you watch it, you'll really think of things that we suspect are happening today. So, but yeah, it's called The Andromeda Strain.
Well, I think we found one of the characters from the Andromeda Strain. It's actually somebody from Mars, which proves the Xenoturbella theory.
Cracker got an AR, like he's shooting schools up. Yellow wide body, Hellcat look like a schoolboy.
Doesn't he look like a Xenoturbella?
Yeah.
And there's only, well, he does have eyes. Maybe he's evolved. I mean, they're over here adapting. If there is ever real evidence of aliens, that's what they do. They'd stay here for a while, and then they come out of the ocean. They start adapting, and, everybody just accepts it. They'll say, oh, that's green screen. Is it?
Yeah, that guy looked like my
He had a
left
good
thumb.
jam going there.
We're just, America, is full of lies, it seems. So I wouldn't put it past them to tell us that we're on the moon, but we're actually on the sun or whatever, or we're on Saturn maybe. They tell us it's a big ball of gas, but who knows? They could just have us gassed up like Exxon.
Well, that's why they are telling us this on the news. NASA's Webb Hubble shares the most comprehensive view of Saturn to date. Yeah, this is exactly what I need to know. But maybe you're right. Maybe we're actually on the rings, and that's why they have all these real clear views of Saturn.
Yep.
But how would we know?
Well, one way we can know is we can look at Infowars.com. That's one way to know.
Absolutely.
We can go on TikTok. That's another way to know. We could go on NASA's website and see why they got a flat tire again. So we can know why we're paying them more money from our tax dollars. And so there's a lot of ways to know, I feel like.
I think people need to research that.
But when you do, sometimes you might end up in the wrong area